Hi, y'all, and good morning. It's Emily with Emily Talks. It just feels like there's not a break right now. um, and I don't feel mad about that. I don't feel defeated, and I think that's just a really cool place to come from. So, yesterday I finally did my first successful interview, and it felt so good to connect with the people that I intentionally wanted to connect with, which that in itself is its own value. It was very beautiful to be there and speaking so frankly with two people that I deeply admire, and they enjoyed spending their time with me and sharing with me. And I'm really hoping to do collaborations going into the future with people that I believe are an important part of the impact that I want to make on this world. And part of that impact is letting you know that there is hope for you, that there are so many people in this world who are beautiful, wonderful people, and the examples are just there to find. I'm surrounded in my life with just powerful, productive people who are also real. They also share love and benevolence. I'll tell you, when I went through my cancer treatment, which was, it's freaking difficult to go through cancer treatment. I would not put it on the level of dealing with PTSD, at least for my, what I went through. I did not have stage 4, I'm in remission. Well, I'll be in remission in a few years if I continue to not have recurrence. But, during all of these tough times, these people showered me with love. When I needed help, they were there for me. And this was, emotionally and philosophically there for me. And they physically supported me too. Like, they would provide me with things or send me money. Like, people that I barely knew, many of these people I did not know in person. We just would share ideas through our Facebook connections. And these people are genuine. They're so real. They're so tangible and touchable. And I want to share that with you because just like I am a real person, I'm not some very unusual example. I'm not. People like me, and just even more amazing and wonderful and full and vibrant and productive, just amazing people are out there, and they're all over and finding each other, connecting with each other, showing each other that we exist. Something that Amy said in the interview that I haven't been able to post yet. But she said in the interview that we did yesterday was about, how she was doing her Great Lakes Objectivist Club. And it was like, a group of people sitting at a table just loving each other, just being in admiration of each other and themselves. And that is the atmosphere that I want to bring to my channel. So very, very excited to have had Robert and Amy Nasir on my channel. And I plan on not just having them back again, but I have several interviews set up. I'm actually going to be interviewing Ezra from the Return on Ideas today. He is the Scrum philosopher and, project manager for their company, and he has a lot of really amazing messages that I cannot wait to share with y'all. And I'm really hoping that over time I'm just going to develop these recurring segments to show you who these people are and how to find them in your life, and how to make yourself one of those people that you truly deeply admire and that is willing and able to go out and to connect with others. I just can't believe that I'm part of this community. I feel like, pinching myself so often. Kind of the same experience that I had when I started working at Apple, where it was just like, how am I this privileged? It's just, my mind can't understand it at times, but my heart is there, my energy is there, my love for these people, and for these experiences, and the drive to continue it is all there. It's real. I can point to it and say, yeah, that's me doing that. And I want to share that with you, and I want you to make these connections just as I have made, and then take that model and repeat it in your life. So very, very excited about the people with whom I connect. Now, the other thing that I'm really excited about is learning something new that's passion project for me. Trying to get my videos together, learning how to edit them. I come from a technical background. I'm an artistic person, and it's not difficult for me to go on and say, okay, I've captured some images and I'm going to apply a preset filter. I'm going to drag my fingers across the screen to crop it. I'm going to drag and drop a little logo in the corner. Woohoo! Here's my video. That isn't terribly challenging for me. It's fun, particularly trying to find the types of solutions that fit my budget without breaking my device, because free stuff is terrible at times, because it relies on the advertising. It relies on the things to try to get you motivated to spend money in other ways. And, everything costs something. Even the free things are going to cost you something. It's just, is that monetary or not? So, there's been that delicate balance, but now that I'm switching into this world of recording interviews with others, there's just layer after layer of challenges that come with that. And one of those challenges was first to identify the right platform. I tried doing Google Meet. I ended up purchasing a subscription for Google Workplace, as well as a Google domain, emilytalks.com. I have not finished designing it yet, and I am very happy with the possibility that with the potential that I already own a domain for my own website, and I can get that into the works. I really don't know what I want to be able to use a website for, to connect with you that's in a meaningful way. At some point, I do want to have merch, because I feel that, if you see behind me, I've got all of this stuff here that brings beauty and joy into my life. And if there's things that I have that I can share with you that create beauty and joy in your life, and I can make a space for that, I really, really believe deeply in, visually connecting with your values. And, I'm all over the place this morning, so I apologize if this is a little off, but I'm going to point out what these different things are, because I just want you to realize how accessible living a life full of love is, even at the worst times. I was sitting in the same chair weeping and bawling and talking about SI the other day with all of the same stuff up here, but it doesn't mean that on a regular basis it still gives me moments of joy and awesomeness to just have my eyes casually glance around my room, around the rooms in my home, and I have all of these wonderful symbols of things that are important to me. So right over here is, all of these are going to be, well, they aren't all video games. This is a video game called Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is a tight platformer with fantastic controls, immersive graphics and whatnot. The team who worked on this, Team Cherry, incredibly talented artists, and the soundtrack. Check out what is the guy who made the soundtrack for Hollow Knight? Chris Larkin. Check out Chris Larkin's soundtrack for Hollow Knight. Whoa, mind-blowing, and it's punishingly hard. Not as bad as Dark Souls. For those of you who like hard things, the game is pretty short. You could finish it in a few days. As a casual player who likes tight controls with a challenging platformer. The spikes in challenge over time are pretty tall, so you can end up you have to go up so high in your skill base in order to progress through certain points of the game. And it just makes it freshly exciting over and over throughout the play. So that's this one here is from Hollow Knight. I highly recommend it. You can get it on Switch, PC. There's a lot of different platforms. This right here is Space Dandy. I can't believe I'm going on this completely random tangent here, but oh, it's just way too fun. So this guy here, Space Dandy, is about a dandy guy in space. It's super ridiculous. He's this low-life, scummy, misogynistic butthole who just cruises around in space. So it's a space cowboy kind of thing. But he's just smarmy, and it's so funny, the things that happen to him. And then there's these moments, these glimmers of him choosing to do something really honorable that shows that deep underneath he's sort of a gentleman, even though he's kind of really dumb. So he makes dumb decisions that are just, there's no thought about it. It's really impulsive, and it's simply because he doesn't do deeper thinking. But at times when he really needs to step up and to be a hero, he truly does. And there's something really endearing about Space Dandy. So I have a Space Dandy shirt, I've got a Space Dandy belt, and I got this beautiful poster, and it's got the kanji on it, which I dig seeing. The kanji is the Japanese characters that, it's their language. So instead of just having things plain out written in English, I love seeing the kanji because to me it just is part of the aesthetic, and it reminds me of the culture and the values that these come from. There's something else about that, but maybe I'll review the movie that made me aware of kanji in the first place. This guy right here is exactly what it is. It's a neon gaming controller, but the neon lights in particular, it's just such a vibe. I feel that neon is that same kind of coming from a place of void and dark and being this glowing energy that just changes everything. You step into a dark room and there's this absence of input that sets off of some of our primal fears, for me. And I know there's a lot of people who are afraid of the dark. There's a reason to be afraid of the dark. It turns off one of your most essential senses, which is sight. Without sight, we're quite lost. It isn't just that neon is cool to me. It's that it takes this dark, foreboding, unknown, like the fear of the unknown sort of space, and it creates vibrancy and fun. And that energy is just the energy that I want myself to be in dark spaces. I don't know how I could get so philosophical about a neon light, but that's just how I think and feel. And to see that in my home when I come into a dark space and it's not dark at all, it's just flooded with this light. I care deeply about this stuff. This final one over here on the left, this is Miku Hatsune, or Hatsune Miku, depending on how you want to say her freaking name. She's basically an AI voice, or just a voice generator, or a sound generator. It's kind of like a sound board. What are they called? Those little boards where you push little buttons and then it creates sound, synthesizer or whatever. And the synthesizer itself kind of has a girlish personality because of the tones. And you can utilize this software, which is what Miku Hatsune essentially is software, to be able to make sounds that are similar to singing. So if you think of Nyan Cat, I don't know, I'll link it down this description. Also link a few things for Miku Hatsune in the description. Anamanaguchi, super love that band, or musicians. They do a song called Miku using Miku Hatsune. It's just something that kind of represents the humanity that we find or that we create in things that are really not human, particularly with, she's kind of a representation of a fantasy through music. And there's some creepy elements to that that float around. If you don't know what a dakimakura is, best of luck to you. But just seeing her image and her youth and her vibrancy is another great example to me about being somebody who brings joy and who can be whoever she wants to be. And that, I can be able to put in the code to say, let's make something beautiful today. And I have that capacity to do it just like Miku. So, plus it's just bright and girly and frou-frou, and I'm not a very bright, girly, frou-frou person, but it's something that I connect with in that realm, and that's special to me. So, bringing this all back around to merch, that's what I see going on with my merch. Maybe like a no mud, no lotus, which I will absolutely contribute to my friend that provided that information for me. Sometime I'll talk about her and her daughter. They are a power duo that are just beautiful, beautiful people. And they deserve so much love and support because of the power of their philosophy and their hearts. Oh, goodness gracious. I would love to do something on Annie and Adebu. I don't know if I would do an interview so much as just try to expose the heart and the beauty of who they are, because Annie exudes this without words. She lives it. And to try to force her to put it into words is not the point of what she does. The point of what she does is that she does, not that she says. So capturing that would be really, really beautiful. And then letting y'all know, like, that's where no mud, no lotus comes from. She has seen some mud, and she is the most beautiful flower. And she thrives in that. And, if you were to have that message in your life on a poster, on a shirt, on a keyring, on a coffee cup, I invest in those things because I know what the changes that they make in my life. These posters were anywhere from $5 to, I don't know, this thing was probably like 12. These things are not super expensive. Or even printing out your own stuff. I'm not necessarily saying that, you have to spend money to make visual cues in your life of joy and of investment in your values. So if money is an issue, which that for me is often an issue, you do not have to stop at what is for sale. You can also do things like this in your own creative way, or take clippings from a magazine, whatever. Sticky tack is so inexpensive. Even, the poorest among us can afford sticky tack, and you can literally put anything on your walls with that crap. So, you know, that's a thought for my website, trying to go back down by degrees and close out this tangent that I was on about connecting with your values and how that ties into thinking about a store and changing your life through creating a store. But I don't even know if that's what I want to do with my website. And that website all comes back to me trying to figure out how to do interviews. Goodness gracious, what kind of rabbit hole did I go down? Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my brain. Jesus criminy, Emily. So, I was the first person that I tried to interview and who was really excited about interviewing with me was Ezra. We had set up an interview time. I was ready to go. I knew of recording things that I could use and ways that he and I could connect over video. But I quickly found out that if I did try to do something that was a screen grab capture from my phone, that it wouldn't capture audio. And then I found out that if I tried to use different apps that do interviews that I can record for free, that it won't record both of our faces at the same time. And then when I search for the word interview, it assumes that I mean a job, like, you know, doing virtual interviews for hiring someone or trying to do an interview with a potential employer. And that was, you know, it's just been item after item that was just causing me some issues. And in the midst of all that is when I started losing all of my ability to record new data because of cache issues with my phone storage. So, you know, that's how I ended up purchasing a subscription to Google Meets, even though that's something that I really can't afford. But I was like, you know what, my passion is such that I can go without for $12 worth of stuff a month to really do this thing. And thankfully, now I don't need to do it. I found a free solution called Riverside. However, with Riverside, I am now running into issues with audio sync on only my video audio part. So with my interview that I did with Robert and Amy yesterday, Robert and Amy are totally in sync with the audio. And they're on this side of one video, right? So the video is playing the entire time, and in each frame is Robert and Amy and then myself. So the audio stays synced to Robert and Amy. Meanwhile, myself in the same frame, I'm starting to go ahead, and the audio is a little bit behind. So there must have been frames that were lost in capturing that data, that it just, you know, sucked up those frames and then stitched things together, because it gets worse over time. It's not something where one issue happened, it's where multiple frames had an issue. And the problem is, I don't know how technical you guys care about. You're along for the ride, so I can't choose what you get to hear from me. But basically how Riverside works is it will you'll store the video that you're capturing to your local device as you're doing that, and then the platform itself, which is Riverside, will broadcast you know, over the internet a picture for you and your participants to see within your room. So it captures your video and your audio locally on your device. And then the same thing for your participants, it captures it locally on the device. It'll take an IRL, you know, in real life, in real time recording, and then, you know, like a stream, to be able to connect between you and your participants. But that's not actually what's the final product that they provide you for the recording. The final product is actually what's being captured by your local device and by your participants' local device. And that full capture is then uploaded to their site for myself as the host to access and download and all that. So technically there shouldn't be such a thing as frame loss, because it's taking it directly from my device. And if there were packet loss in sending the whole file, there would be bigger issues than, I mean, the packet loss wouldn't cause frame loss. That happens with a streaming type situation. Although now that I think about it, you upload that data that's recorded to your phone in real time. It's uploading as you're recording. So it's possible that packets along that way were lost and then everything was compiled into a video. So regardless, it's brought me down to my next step, which is finding better video editing software, which I now need to defer to my computer for. My computer is running into issues. It's been doing this for a long time. I have a 256 NVMe SSD, which NVMe, oh gosh, the speed, the beauty. NVMe is like the latest cutting edge, I guess, form of a hard drive nowadays, where just it's so easy to access and write to. It's just a really beautiful technology that I'm super happy about. The storage that I got when I custom ordered this computer when I was working at a place that I built computers at. I have an Intel NUC Canyon. It's an older one, but it's got an i5, probably like a 3rd gen i5. Nothing super special about the graphics. They're integrated. But I got to pick out that I wanted an NVMe. I got a 256 because it's kind of expensive. I've got, I mean, a not terrible 8 gigs of RAM. It does some things, but the problem is that I ran out of storage immediately and I had no idea I was going to run into this issue. So I am looking forward to possibly getting a 1 terabyte NVMe. There's some options out there that are pretty tempting. I've found them around $60 if you look in the right place. Big thing is I know I don't have 2 ports in my device that can both support NVMe. I think I have another one that will support M2 but not NVMe. And then I believe I also have the connector for a 2.5, so a 2.5 inch SSD or HDD, whatever I want to do. So I'm running into storage issues, which means when I go to edit things on my computer, I have to be very, very careful with how much I'm downloading, with the kind of software that I'm running, with the demand load of the software, because a lot of this software is built for professionals who have incredibly powerful computers, because the amount of processing that they need to do at any one given time just requires that, like 64 gigs of RAM and, and freaking, I don't know, some kind of RTX or something like that, graphics card. And I'm not that person. Okay, y'all, I'm not that person. I'm not investing like that. I know about all these things. They're interesting to me. And I want to learn more, but the level that my channel is at is just not there. And I don't want it to be there at this time. I just know that as I look into resolving more complex issues, because I'm a complex person who wants to go above and beyond instead of recording a new session or posting subpar content, or just, distracting content, because stuff's all over the place and video and audio aren't synced for half of the screen, but the other half of the screen is totally fine. It's just, I can't stand it. But I'm just not at a place where I am professionally or working on professional equipment in a professional capacity. Just not where I'm at. It's not where I want to be. And I just want to connect. So that's what's going on today. And I wanted to share with you what my experience is currently, because I think it's kind of cool. Maybe if somebody else is going through their own YouTube journey, or just anything where you're learning something for the first time and it feels exciting but also daunting, and trying to deal with the other chaos of life, that this is a moment to connect and to know that I'm here doing the same kind of stuff, y'all. And I look forward to continuing to do it, that challenges are only challenges that make me more excited to get through to them, get through them, to get back to you, to get back to recording, to get back to my passion here of sharing. So hopefully I will have the interview to post for today. If not, no big worries. I'm going to be doing another interview with Ezra today from ROI. Hopefully I can remember to put all of the links in the description that I need to for his video, because there's a ton that we're going to be talking about. It's going to be so exciting, y'all. So have a productive, wonderful day. I wish you well. No mud, no lotus.